Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be filming a makeup tutorial for you on this look that I'm wearing right here. It is a darker shadow with winged liner. I love this look. It's completely matte on the eyes and I really highlighted a lot and made it dewy, fresh, and fun. In these winter months I've been extremely dry, so the highlighting has been helping me through the months, making me look dewy, making me look luminous and fresh. So if you guys struggle with dry skin or looking dull or flat, here I will show you ways to help achieve a more dewy, luminous look in your skin. I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I would love for you to leave me comments below what you would like to see next. Alright, I will see you in my next video. Bye everyone! Okay, so first I'm going to start by moisturizing my skin. This is my go-to moisturizer right now, and it is the Josie Maran Daily Moisturizer, and this has an SPF of 47 in it. Next, I'm going to be using the Makeup Forever HD Stick Foundation, and this is in the shade 117 equals Y225. And I like to just rub this on my face, and I'm blending it out with a Morphe G6 buffer brush. And I really like this brush with this foundation because the brush is really short and dense, so it helps really push the product into the skin. So I'm just making sure I'm getting my hairline around my neck, and now I'm going to conceal, and I'm using the Urban Decay Naked Skin Weightless Concealer, and this is in the shade Fair Neutral. And I am definitely pretty pale right now, so this is the lightest shade they make in this concealer, and I really love it because it is truly neutral, not too warm, not too cool. So I'm blending that out in my eye area, my forehead, my nose, and my cupid's bow. I like to highlight other places of my face because it gives your face balance. So it gives your face more dimensions, which you want because you don't want a flat face, and that's why we like to contour as well to help give the face different dimensions. So now I'm mixing together MAC Pro Emphasize Shaping Powder and Anastasia Beverly Hills Banana Powder from her contour kit, and I'm using an e.l.f. blush brush to set my eye area and my T-zone. Now I'm going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in the shade Chocolate. And I'm just going through and I'm filling in my eyebrows with this. No particular way. I like to just fill in my outer tail by following the shape of my eyebrow and slowly flicking it up and really blending it out with the spoolie once I get towards the inner corner. And I really like to comb them out because you want them to look as natural as possible. You don't want your brows to be too bold or too overboard, but filling them in. Starting with our eyes, I'm using the bhcosmetics Carli Bybel palette, and I'm using the lightest shade in this palette. It's a really light, like cream colored shade, and I'm kind of just setting our whole eye area with this. I'm not taking it all the way to my brow bone, but pretty high up. Then I'm going down to the third eyeshadow in this palette, and it's a really great transition shade. So I'm applying this all over my lid and up pretty high in my crease. And doing this is going to help our blending experience along the way, and it's also going to help give our eye look lots of dimension, which we want. We want this to be very blown out and very blended. So I'm just dusting this back and forth in windshield wiper motions, and I'm using a Sigma E40 tapered blending brush to apply that. Now I'm going in with the second darkest shade in the palette, excuse me. And it's kind of like a purpley shade. It's really pretty. It's like a plum. And I wanted to throw this in here to just help give a hint of a shade because we're working with a lot of browns, and we don't want the browns to all blend together and get lost with one another. So applying a little bit of a hint of a color really helps along the way. So now I'm switching brushes, and I'm grabbing a Sigma E25 blending brush, and I'm applying the shade Latte by Geek. And I'm applying this all over my lid, up into my crease. I'm slowly taking it up. I'm not going too high up, but I want to really start low and work my way up. Dusting it back and forth in windshield wiper motions. You can never do that enough, I promise you. It will really help the blending experience along the way. And it's okay if you take this shadow too high, because we will go in at the end with a different brush and we'll really blend everything out so we have no harsh lines, because no one wants harsh lines when they're doing a makeup look. So I'm doing the same thing on the other eye, taking the same latte shade from my inner corner to my outer corner of my lid and slowly taking it up into my crease. Now I'm using the same brush and I'm going in with the shade Mocha, and this is also by Makeup Geek. It is a staple in my collection. If you are on the market for a neutral colored dark brown, this is the perfect one to choose, because it's not too warm, it's not too cool, it's not too ashy, and it doesn't have too many like red tones in it. It's very beautiful and I highly recommend it. So I'm just dusting this on my lid first, from my inner corner to my outer corner, and taking it up into my crease very slow. So some people like to use like flat synthetic brushes to apply shadows to their lid, but I like using a goat hair brush because it doesn't sear my product and it applies a light amount that I can build it up myself, which I really like to do with eye looks that are especially on the darker side. Now I'm going in with a Morphe M441 blending brush, and that is like my great transition brush. It is really long and not too tightly packed, so it really buffs everything out beautifully. Now I'm going in with the Ardency Inn Modster eyeliner, and this is in the shade Black. It is the creamiest eyeliner I've ever used. I don't have to rub too hard. It's wonderful. And I'm just applying that to my upper and lower waterline. If you don't feel comfortable doing your upper, feel free just to do the lower, or feel free to skip that step completely. But I wanted to take all the steps to really connect everything and make everything very blown out and smoky, but yet have that cat eye effect with our winged liner. Now I'm going in with a Sigma E15 flat definer brush, and I'm taking that same mocha shade and I'm very tightly pressing it against my lower lashes, and I'm making sure that it's nice and tight up against that liner so that I have no spaces, no white lines, that it's pressed up there really great. So sorry about my phone. My phone's connected to my computer, so if any of you know how to turn the ringer off on the computer, please leave me a comment below how to do that, because I do not know how to do it. Okay, now I'm going in with a Maybelline Eye Studio Gel Liner in the shade Blackest Black, and I'm using a Sigma E65 small angled brush. So Sigma makes a bunch of different brushes. So sorry. Sigma makes a bunch of small angled brushes, but they have like small, extra small, and then there's like a medium. But this is the E65 if you're confused, if you need a great liner brush. This is definitely one for that. So I'm just tracing my inner corner and my outer corner, just filling in the dots completely. So now I'm going to do the other eye, and I have a lot of products packed into my brush, and I'm going to start by following my lower lash line out to the corner of my eyebrow, and then I'm going to take another line and follow the end of that line all the way into my inner corner. And I like to make this outline and then fill it in, and that really helps me in my process. A lot of people can do it the other way or a different way. Whatever works for you, but this is a really nice method. And as I go along, I always make sure that I have tons of product packed into my brush, and that really helps ensure that my lines aren't dragging and that everything is nice and even and very black, because sometimes if you don't have a lot of product on your brush, it can tend to look a little bit gray, and we don't want it to look gray. We want it to look very black and fresh. So then I just go back over both of the lines and just fill everything back in and make sure everything is nice and even and black. Then you want to stop and take a look at yourself and just make sure that they're even, because when your eyes are closed they can look different, so you want to look at yourself in different angles and maybe move the mirror around a little bit. I do use a magnifying mirror, so maybe if you use a magnifying mirror, look at yourself in a regular non-magnifying mirror and see how that works for you. And I know a ton of brands make gel eyeliner, but I really, really enjoy the Maybelline one. It's around, I think, $10 at the drugstore, which sometimes it blows me away that it's $10 at the drugstore, but you get a ton of product and it's well worth it. Now I'm going in with the Laura Mercier translucent powder, and I'm using a Morphe E3 brush. And this foundation is really, really dewy, so I was afraid that my bronzer was going to look choppy. So I just set the places that I'm going to apply my bronzer. Now I'm going in with the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Bronzer, and I'm using an e.l.f. powder brush, and I'm dusting this all over my cheekbones. I start from where the hollow of my cheekbone begins, so I go right above that, and I go pretty high up towards my cheekbone because I am not applying blush, so this is going to act as my blush as well. So I really dust that in, and I'm just bronzing up and warming the face, and this is going to help give us dimension and help make us look very fresh and alive. So I'm just doing the temples of my forehead, and then I also do a touch on my neck, and I do a little touch on my chest just to help give me some color in these very pale winter months. Now I'm going in with the Laura Mercier translucent powder with an e.l.f. blush brush, and I'm using a very concentrated amount of this powder and applying it right from the hollow of my cheekbone and below. And then I also take it from the end of my nose down to my jawline, and this is going to help just clean everything up and make it look very airbrushed. And this is called the baking method. So we're putting a concentrated amount, and then we're going to let it sit, and then we'll dust it off. Now I'm using the L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black Mascara. I love the Carbon Black because it doesn't leave a separation between my lashes and false lashes. Sometimes just a normal black mascara isn't dark enough, so the Carbon Black is definitely a great one. Now I'm going back in with the e.l.f. blush brush, and I'm just dusting away the excess powder that we applied. Now I'm going in with the House of Lashes in the style Bambie. These are really, really fun. They're like kind of like a wispy lash, but they are kind of clumped together. They're absolutely stunning. They're not too thick. Sometimes people that have smaller eyes or smaller lids can't do a really thick full lash, so I really highly recommend these to any eye shape, and they're really, really great. So I'm just using also the House of Lash Black Eyelash Adhesive, and I'm just using a pair of tweezers to apply these. If you are not good around your eye area and you tend to flutter a lot, I do not recommend using tweezers because you do not want to poke your eye out, because that can be some serious stuff. But I just, of course, practice with anything takes perfect, so maybe use a doll pair of tweezers when you try this first. So I'm just applying these and making sure my inner corners and my outer corners are all stuck to it. And you want to make sure you get these as close to your natural lashes as possible. Now for lipstick, I'm going in with Gerard Cosmetics lipstick in the shade Buttercup. This is literally the perfect nude. It's like my lip color, but just better. It's pinker, nuder. It's great. It's better. Then I did apply Smashbox lip lacquer over top because I ended up wanting more of a glossy lip. And now I'm using the Anastasia Gleam Glow Kit, and I'm using the shade Starburst for the apples of my cheeks, and then I'm applying crushed pearl to my cheekbones. Spritzing my face with MAC Fix Plus, and we are done. I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. Leave me a big thumbs up, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.